All right, so we're gonna go move forward with our next version. We've thought about our breakdowns and we've created a couple, or I think it was three at a very minimum, that you'd had to think about three good uses of effective breakdowns. I'm gonna make sure that my preferences are gonna be changed. I'm gonna change them in this instance all to flat, and then I'm gonna save. And then I am going to, next, I'm going to take a look at my keys here on 209. I've got a keyframe, and then I've got a transition all the way from 209 to 18. 218, that's a 9-frame transition. We talked about there being a range. On average, it's about 1/3 of a second, so it's not too floaty, but it can be as short as 3 frames, or it can be a bit longer than 8 as well. So we've got a transition from 218 to 227. We have a little bit of a nuanced hold where that arm is going down, but most of the body is staying in the same general position. And then from 27 to 30, we have a transition that's only 3 frames, and there's no breakdown. It's not necessary to have one there. It's such a short transition, and it works. So we don't need to have a breakdown every transition that we do. We just find out where it can be of service to us, and it also depends on how much time we have in the production pipeline. So I had time here on 213. I just keyed, if you look here, these are all on spline tangents, and I've kept them unified so that they look a bit different. I don't need to have them broken or weighted. And I've also used my key tick color on so that I can differentiate with color, and I can see that it's a breakdown here in my timeline. It's yellow. That really helps me keep things organized. I've got this key here, which is I want to slow in and slow out of that here. So I want to make sure that these are flat. And I also want to clean them up a little bit. So I am going to select Shift and move them all to the left, and then I can pull them out and they're all lined up nicely. So it's a bit easier for me to move them here. And I like to move them out because I want to get a real slow out of that key. And on the other side as well, I'm going to flatten that guy. It's flat. The tangents are broken and weighted. I'm going to select these tangents. I'm going to clean them up as well by holding Shift and middle mouse button. Oh, look at that. Not broken, so I'm actually going to break them right now. So good, because I want to just affect these tangents and clean them up a bit. Move them over and get my nice slow in. And this is, you can decide what you want, but we generally want a bit of a snappy kind of feeling where we got a nice slow in and slow out, a nice strong one, stronger than what Maya will give you with just the default flat values. And then we have a nicer way of spacing where those frames on after the keys are kind of tighter, and then they go through larger spacing, hitting that splined breakdown on just the controls we need, and then going into our next, slowing into 218. And this is good. This is better than what we had before. This is part 1, and I'm going to start a new video and we can talk about the next phase.